Hello, everybody. Hi there. Fiona Hooper here with another edition of The Poetry of Painting, number 83, would you believe, which I find absolutely staggering. And I'm so honoured that I've had so many lovely shows with wonderful poets and so much input, let alone for the book, which I will be coming back to in a little while, of course. But for now, let me introduce this week's poet. The returning Ritesh Nigam joins us. Hold on a moment. There he is. Hi, Ritesh. How are you?
Hi, Fiona. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes. I've been enjoying a slightly more relaxed week, shall we say, in some ways, after the intense few weeks that we just had with getting the book published. And I know you've done at least as much work as I have, if not more. And so thank you so much for that again. Thank you. It's
No,
been
I think you have
fantastic.
thanked me enough. The credit definitely goes to you, initiating the idea, bringing so many poets, and bringing so much of creativity and positivity. That the live show, I don't know if people who are watching it, when you get the link, go and watch it. It was so close, so warm. The Rosie and the other poets, the songs.
Yeah.
It was really heart touching.
It was brilliant, and I had some wonderful feedback after the launch as well. So that's on my Facebook page, dated Sunday, I believe, this Sunday just gone, the 13th. But no, without your mastermind of publishing it, the book still might not have happened. So it's thanks to everybody, yourself, the poets, my support network, my partner Chris for being absolutely wonderful and putting up with a lot of my time buried with my nose buried in my laptop and so on, let alone in the studio buried in there, creating even more artwork that was Ritesh's idea, I seem to think. But
Well, didn't I tell you that, I've got a perfect client. So when you, as an artist, and if I say, and that was when I was designing a page, I put something from online and he said, wait a minute, that's my book. I'm an artist. I can't have some others
no,
dragonfly. I'm going to
no,
paint it. I'm going to draw it. So, and that
absolutely.
was only one page. And then, well, I said, ooh, if she can do for one page, maybe
Mm.
I can push her for all the pages.
Yes. Okay. Next time we are having a longer lead time on it, but that's fine. So,
Yeah, no,
welcome
definitely.
to everybody, by the way, who's watching, whether live or on replay. Thank you very much. Do ask some questions and put comments up. Chris has already joined us with comments saying hello to both of us, Ritesh. And he said, here, here, well said, Ritesh. So,
Thank
thumbs
you,
up from
Chris.
Chris. Thank you.
You're always welcome, and thank you for everyone for watching it, rewatching it,
Yeah.
and do feel free to put your comments in, questions in, and yeah, and if you'd like to ask how was the journey of publishing the whole book, the idea, we'll be glad to answer those questions as well.
Yep, we certainly will. And if you'd like to order a book, they're available on my website at the moment, and I'll put the link in the comments afterwards. So,
No, you just
yeah,
have to type
and
Fiona Hooper, and you'll be there.
yep, Fiona Hooper, artist,
FionaHooper.com.
and of course every book that sells is still going to carry on raising money for Alzheimer's. We've raised a lot already, which has been absolutely stupendous, the response that we had from everybody, but the books will still carry on raising money for Alzheimer's as well, so
Yeah.
brilliant. So
I think
anyway,
that was the thing when you talked about the book, and the moment you talk about connecting it and how close the Alzheimer's is to you and your family,
mm,
that created the whole, that we were not just working to publish a book, but we were
yeah,
working to raise some money, to obviously raise awareness about, through the book. Every time
mm,
we are talking about the book, we are talking about Alzheimer's UK research and their role in, finding a cure for Alzheimer's. So
yes,
that's
yes.
this will go a long way. Uh, Rather than we are talking about a book now and then forget about it, it's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Absolutely. And in fact, on Facebook this morning, I had a post pop up in front of me from Alzheimer's Research UK, indeed, and they have had some really, really positive results with a new drug that they've got.
Wow,
They reckon it can slow down the progress of Alzheimer's, not stop it completely or cure it, but slow it by about 24%, I think it was, which
that's
is
amazing.
incredible, for people that are affected by it.
Yep,
If that could have slowed down the progression of my mother's Alzheimer's, we could have had some more years together, actually being able to converse together properly. But for those that are still coming along, hopefully it's really good news. And the guy was saying about this one, and how if they can get this one working, which it does seem to have met some of the testing requirements, then it's so promising for even better drugs to be following on afterwards. So if we can be a little part of that, helping to support that, that's absolutely brilliant. So yeah.
definitely.
Now, Ritesh, you are here tonight as a poet, not just a publisher. You're here as a poet.
Yes.
And according to the normal custom on these shows, you have written a poem about one of my paintings, about which you knew nothing apart from the title.
No,
And we are all waiting to hear your poem. So if you'll
definitely.
just let me put the painting on the screen. There we are. It's called December Twilight. And I don't know if you want to read your poem or talk about the painting first.
No, I think I'll start with the poem, and then we can discuss about it and take it from there. As I say, so here it is. I'm reading it from my mobile because I lost the screen on my laptop, so I just put it on my
Ah,
mobile.
right.
So it's there. I always forward to my close group for them to see if it's all right, the poem is okay. My close groups means my sister and my wife. Okay.
Right. Very important. Very
Yeah,
important.
that's it. So here it is. As a painting, I kept the title as December Twilight, and try to paint the picture, you say, with the words. That's how
Yes,
you say.
yes.
Okay. So a whimsical of a land, whimsical of a land like the clouds above. Above the forest trampoline to the vast choral light the world to its endless sheens of white, like the crystals in sight of shivering cold in its rain of winters to all the splinters the world, all mundane that feels heavenly now with a breeze full of delight like the choral colors above to embark its twilight like you were making twilight like you were walking above in the clouds of white. It seems like an endless winter gleam of someone's December dream.
Oh, lovely.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Thank you. Yes. I love that. And you really you've painted more than the painting, with your words, you've painted a picture that's
Thank
more
you.
than the painting and brings in so many other different things into your word picture, as it were. So that's lovely. Some really lovely bits. So Chris said very wintry. Absolutely.
Thank you,
Very
Chris.
appropriate for the painting. And I shall look forward to reading that one in due course for Taish as well. And if I may,
Definitely.
posting it in due course for my readers and followers to read for themselves, if that's all right. So that'd be
Yeah.
lovely. Yeah. So
So did I say it correctly that obviously it's snow down there, right?
yes, it
and
is.
and there's a reflection. So first
Yeah.
previously I thought it's a frozen lake or something. I said, well, no, it doesn't look like a frozen lake. From where it was painted, it must be snow. And
Yes, yes.
is it a real photograph or
It's a
scenery?
real place. By the way, Chris says he's reaching for his overcoat as we speak. So
Sure.
thank you, Chris. It's actually a place called Kenley Airfield, which was very important during World War II, where a lot of fighters were stationed there to help protect the south coast from invasion and to go on sorties over to Europe and doing their part in the war. So it's fairly high up there. It's obviously very flat because it's an airfield, and it's not. Well, they do gliding still up there,
Yeah.
and certainly pre-COVID, they used to have an air show once a year, which was great
Okay.
fun. And they even had a Spitfire, a Lancaster, and what was the other one? It might have been a Mosquito or something, come in and fly. And they had wing walkers, on these, biplanes, and girls on the top of them doing acrobatics and amazing in midair, of course.
Proper air show. Wow.
Yes, yes. Not as big as some of the, like Biggin Hill or Farnborough, but a lovely, what's Chris said, part of 11 group within fighter command. Oh, and they flew mainly Hurricanes from there. Chris knows about these things. He likes studying these things. So, but now it's, as I say, it's not really used as an airfield very much. And the area that's going into the painting that you can see is actually part of the old tarmac, like big wide road strip, not the actual airstrip that they would take off, but a perimeter road, as it were. Oh, Margaret's joined us as well. Hi, Margaret. Great to have you with us.
Hi, Margaret.
Beautiful painting and poem transported into a peaceful alternate world during reading. Marvelous. And a heart at the end of it, Ritesh. So well done. Thank you very much, Margaret, for your lovely comment. So yes, this path that goes around, and when they're not flying gliders or anything, you can walk virtually anywhere up there along the airstrips themselves as well. But this path runs round, and I used to take the dogs up there very often for walks, which in the summer is beautiful. It's lovely with all the oxeye daisies out in the grass along the sides, looking absolutely beautiful, and the wildflowers. And then, the autumn comes and things start to change colour, and then you get the winter. And being fairly high, being obviously very flat and exposed, it can get a bit on the nippy side up there. But there was snow, but on this particular day, there was the snow on the ground, but it was quite a still day. So it wasn't actually, it wasn't like a biting wind making you feel really chilled. It was quite pleasant, really. And the sky was just incredible. So
I could sense it.
Yeah.
I think it could be like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We can see the sun still behind the clouds.
Absolutely. Yeah. Chris says you can still hear the distant roar of a Merlin engine in this winter scene.
Wow.
I believe the Merlins were on the Spitfires and Hurricanes, possibly. Chris will no doubt tell us in a minute. But it's a lovely place to go walking. And on a weekend, you tend to get a lot of families up there because it's quite flat for the children with their little bikes. Oh, and they were on Lancasters as well. I knew Chris would tell us. The Merlin engines, that is. So yes, you get lots of kiddies on their first bikes, trying to do without their stabilizer wheels, and it's lovely up there. So it's a real place, and that's where I must confess, I didn't actually paint that one on site. It was a little bit on the cold side for painting on site.
No, I don't. So, I don't think you would have done it. That will be, you should enjoy the sun. Enjoy the snow, not sit there and paint.
But Chris says yes, he is an anorak. Yeah, he's just doing up his anorak. Yes, he's a bit of an anorak when it comes to like World War II planes and things, and steam engines and things. But we
Okay.
probably better not go too far down that route.
Yeah, better not go there, because when I was cycling from Paris through the France, and we started at Dunkirk, and there are so many places which are just filled with history, with World War
Mm,
II. So many
yes.
monuments, so many. We actually went to couple of places which were dedicated to Englishmen
Mm,
fighting for in the World War One, two. So it's
yeah.
the moment, and just on Sunday we had the Remembrance Sunday, so it
Yes.
all
Yeah.
it becomes a focus. Probably we'll stop talking about poetry and painting and talk about the World War Two.
Mm. Well, yeah. Sunday, we normally watch at least some of the procession and the ceremonies and that, which we did, and it is very much a time to remember, those that have given up so much for,
True.
the freedom of this country, and a lot of them paid the ultimate price with their life, and
Yeah.
there's an awful lot more though that were injured and you know disabled by it, and have
Yeah.
suffered PTSD and other awful things as well. And so it's important to remember them as well as the people that lost their lives.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Agree.
it's a sobering day, but I think in a way we should celebrate it as well, because otherwise, if we don't celebrate what they did for us,
No,
it seems
they obviously, if you ask them, do you want to cry for us, or smile? And they say, well, I gave my life first so that you can smile,
yeah,
and they would
yes,
like you to celebrate the bravery, the
absolutely,
dedication,
yeah,
and it's and even today, when we talk about people joining army, or Royal Navy, it's always like, you get that sense of pride that, wow,
mm,
wow,
absolutely, yes. Chris says we must never forget. That's right, absolutely,
definitely.
Chris. But I think we need to also remember, not only with sadness, but with pride and celebration as well at what
Yeah.
they achieved. So, and Margaret says anoraks are undervalued treasures. Absolutely. I have my own living anorak here, Margaret, and he's very much treasured. So that's absolutely true. So I love that. Anoraks are undervalued treasures. Mind you, it's only going to encourage him, Margaret, now that we've said that, but there we go. Oh dear. So what
Wow.
else have you been up to, Ritesh? Have you been up to anything else with all of the work you put into the book publication?
No, I normally take a couple of, one or two projects at one time. So it's so that I can, that's why I can uh, hear Margaret. Thank you. Okay, so Chris Barber has got a fan today.
Yeah, he
Well, he
has.
obviously got three fans. We all three are your fan, Chris.
Absolutely.
You're so wonderful.
Yeah.
And in fact, for on our normal Zoom calls, not associated with this poetry show, we always miss him, right? His inputs and everything. So yeah. And I
Yeah.
was saying, yeah. So I was taking a couple of projects, and then obviously I had um, kind of a small brief episode where we were keeping our breath, because my 10-year-old daughter, she had her first vaccination for the first time.
Right.
She got COVID when her turn was up this year in January. So we were like, okay, is she okay? She's okay. Is she gonna be okay? She was. And I remember the first time she got vaccinated as a baby, she kicked the nurse. So
Oh dear.
so
Oh
you're like, is it gonna be okay? But she was very brave. She is very brave in that sense.
yeah.
She insisted that I'm going to go to school. Even though we asked her, would I take a couple of days break? Now
Hmm.
I'm okay. So my
Well
focus for the
done.
last couple of days was on her, just to make
Yeah.
sure she's
Yeah.
okay. Um,
Good. Good. Yeah.
yeah, and
Brave girl. Brave girl. By the way, Chris says, thank you, Ritesh. The check is in the post. I
yay.
don't know. But is she feeling all right? Is she okay?
Yeah, she's feeling all right. She didn't had any. what we were thinking. And we just, because she's a bit shy, so sometimes she doesn't tell how she's actually feeling. So we were trying
Right.
to keep in conversation with her to understand. And we sometimes she actually tries to not try to, but be more braver than she could be. And so we have to keep an eye on her to make sure that she's not
Mm.
going for, oh no, no, I'm really brave, I can do this, I can do that. She can do that. She did it.
Yeah.
She didn't take a leave, thankfully. She's okay now. That's
Good.
good.
Excellent. That's good news. Yeah, because there seems to be a bit more of it going around, but luckily not as serious as it was. So
No,
fingers
I think
crossed.
everyone is a little bit vaccinated, a little bit
Yeah.
protected. And
Yeah.
yeah, if you got to be a little bit more cautious sense, so that could
Mm.
be a key
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, so where are
How
we
did
now
you
then?
how did you so I wanted to ask you, sorry to interrupt you, because I
No.
am, maybe that might be a very nice topic for Chris. How did you celebrate after the book launch? Did he take you for a dinner? Come on, let's go. No.
No, no. In fact, we made sure that we'd eaten before the book launch so that I didn't disturb it with sounds of my tummy rumbling, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and he did open the bottle of bubbly for us. And then after the show, because I didn't really drink mine during the show, I was just so
No, you were
busy
just
and enjoying it and everybody's input and everybody being there. It was so lovely. And so I drank mine afterwards, and then we did have one more glass each, which was lovely, and
okay.
basically just chilled out and sort of like, whoa.
Ah.
Yes.
I know,
Oh goodness.
I know.
Chris says he
I know
couldn't
that
possibly
feeling.
comment
Yeah.
how we celebrated. So that was lovely, and it because I got a busy day coming up the day after, so it was fine. It was lovely actually, just to be able to sit down and think, well, actually, no, I did do a few things after the show anyway, because the launch, because I had other things I needed to
Yeah.
do for like updating my website because the launch had happened, and so on. So yeah. So, but then after that, sat down and just relaxed, which was lovely.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but then, people have been saying, oh, when's the next book coming?
Hmm.
Well, the next book needs a bit more work yet because I need to get some more poets to write some more poetry first.
Yeah.
And I will still need to do more paintings yet for it. And I will need to do those extra little artworks that'll only take you half an hour, Fiona. Um, so I'll need to get those done.
Ah,
But if we've got more time, I can just work towards that. But I like to still put deadlines in place. So,
yeah.
a deadline of the end of X month to complete the little extra paintings, a deadline of the month after for this and 2 weeks after that for something else. Because I think if you don't set a deadline like that, it slips. And then
No.
you end up being like this time, which was a conscious decision to do it quickly this time. But
Because if you remember when we were talking, I asked you, do you really
yeah,
want to do it before Christmas? And you said, okay, yes. And then we worked out behind, okay,
yeah,
so if we had to do this there, then this is what we have to do here. And I think
indeed.
now, when you know the process, you could say, yeah, if you have a 6 months, then we can create a
Mm.
6 months deadline thing.
Yes,
So,
yes,
you at the end of fifth month, you can actually have a look at the book,
yeah,
gone through it, and say, wow, this is what I'm going to actually take it to the people. So
yeah, yeah,
it's amazing. And
absolutely.
I think with the crowdfunding, we did a lot actually. We just didn't publish
Mm.
the book. We did whole
Yes,
lot of other things as well. So
yeah.
yeah.
And if anybody still wants to donate, the crowdfunder closed, but you can still donate to Alzheimer's research. I haven't made the payment to them yet. What we need to do first is to all of the accounts, just taking you know, the absolute minimum of expenses that we have to. So for the publishing, the printing, obviously postage to send out the books to people that have pledged for a reward, but the absolute bare minimum, and then everything else will be going to the charity. And I haven't got all the figures yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be certainly over £1,000 going to the charity. And with more books being ordered already, which is fantastic,
Yep.
there's going to be even more money coming in for them as well. So, but as soon as I've got a figure for that, I'll be posting it and letting people know how much we did all raise from the crowdfunding, and subsequent, you know, some other people have sent me checks and cash, which is, it's just so wonderful. You know, it's such a good cause, and I know there are lots of good causes out there, but you know, for myself and quite a few of my friends and Chris as well, it's something that's, you know, affected us very closely. So yeah, so to be able to do that is amazing. So, and if, as I say, anyone buys a book, it will all help as well to raise some more money. So there we are. So I've got that to think about. I've also got some commissions in the pipeline, one to be done before Christmas, which is getting quite close to being finished. And of course, I can't show you that because it's going to be a Christmas present. So I can't risk anybody seeing it who shouldn't. And then I've got 2 other commissions in the pipeline, a third one very likely to happen. So I'm going to have a few things to keep me busy before I start on the next book. Yeah. And how about you, Ritesh? What are your plans at the moment now that this book is winding down a little bit in terms of the intense effort that's been put into it?
Yeah, I got a couple of people already, you know, talking about the books in a different pipelines, different stages. So,
Yeah.
and so as you know, the new year is always about fitness, dieting, cookbooks. So yeah, I've given you some of the keywords of the books I'm working on at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, and on myself as well. You know, I've been trying to become vegan. So
Yeah.
January again, I'll give it a go. And this time I'm thinking, instead of trying in January, maybe let's try in December. Start from December, because we eat so much, and you know we have already eaten a lot in September and October, being Indian festivals, Diwali, and now with the Christmas coming, the puddings and everything. Oh my God! And I think if I go into a party saying, well, I am doing a veganuary, that's it, that's how they call the January, but I started in December, it will be a nice icebreaker to talk about and stay away from all that delicious food.
Yes, it can be a bit too tempting sometimes, can't it?
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
And then you sort of, oh, I wish I hadn't had that extra.
Especially if you're not if you're not doing, then it becomes like, you know, oh, I can have it as December. I will start in January, you know, and then you end up eating more, stuffing up yourself. So I was just thinking, let's and because when I completed my cycling, it was like a period where, you know, oh, you can have a burger now. You can have 2 burgers now and 3 biryanis and 4 this and 5 that, 6 that.
You need to get cycling again.
Yes, I need to get back. You know, I don't like this winter season to cycle around. So the better February, March, I'm waiting for that. Yeah.
Right. Oh, we have an absolutely wonderful comment from Margaret, Ritesh. You both exude the best of humanity, empathy, positivity, and creativity. Wow. That is just so lovely, Margaret. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's from one creative to 2 others as well, because Margaret does wonderful poetry. I don't know if you follow her on Facebook, Ritesh, but absolutely wonderful poetry, and obviously on the shows as well. You've probably seen her there, so thank you so much, Margaret. That means a great deal to me, and I'm sure it does to Ritesh as well. So thank you. Oh, Chris has chipped in. He's about to start a seafood diet. I see food and eat it. We'd never heard that one before. And he said, here,
Good luck
Mum,
for that,
brilliant
Chris.
sentiment. So yeah. Yes. So I think with food, it's like lots of things, a little bit of different things, not going crazy on any one thing,
No.
balance and, a bit of moderation, because if you eat too much, you don't feel good afterwards anyway.
No.
So, just moderating it and not being a killjoy, not don't eat mince pies or something, eat them, just, be kind to yourself and don't eat too many, sort of thing, but having said that, of course, I can't promise that I will necessarily follow my own advice to the letter over Christmas.
No.
Yeah, I'll try, but I won't promise. So, but yeah. So that's Ritesh, I've just realised we are up to our time. That has gone so quickly.
I was wondering when you will realize, because you are so peculiar about always 30 minutes.
I know. So I'm really sorry, Ritesh, but I'm going to have to say goodbye to everybody and thank everyone so much for watching and listening, and thank all my supporters so much, including yourself again. And thank you for being on the show and reading your wonderful poem tonight, Ritesh.
Thank you, Fiona, and do leave us comments and we will probably answer them.
Lovely. All right. Take care, everybody. See you next week. Thanks, Ritesh. Bye-bye. Bye.